Hello and thank you so much for joining us on CBS 8 Plus. I'm Heather Myers. Here at CBS 8, we are working for you and getting to the bottom of problems that you've asked about and looking for solutions. We start near the Embarcadero. Owners living in a condo complex in the area say they are still dealing with a mess from a city sewage backup spill that happened back in January. The city says the wastewater error has been fixed. However, owners say the city needs to make it right and pay for damages. CBS 8's Abby Black is working for you on how the city is responding to their claims.
It happened about noon.
In the street, you could see that the sewage was coming up.
Sewage had piled up in the 2 floors of the parking garages and storage units, causing major damage. The owners want the city to pay for it. We're working for you on how they're responding to their claims.
Dale Godfrey and Nancy Kingman are neighbors at the Park Place condominiums, but they didn't know each other until today.
So this is P1.
They walked me through the parking garage to show me Nancy's cars that were damaged in a sewage flood in January.
Right to the floorboards.
Storage units were covered in sewage sludge.
And it just exploded.
The backup shut down the elevators for a week. One still isn't working. Dale, who's 84 years old, had to climb 28 floors to his condo.
And I got up to about 6th floor, and I think I rushed a little bit.
Dale and Nancy are still tired of dealing with the city who keeps hounding them for more information about the damages.
They want to know the age of everything, which is a little bit difficult to pinpoint.
They both filed a claim against the city to pay for what was ruined.
We figured it was right around $14,000.
Dale had family heirlooms and a rare collection in his storage unit.
I had a record collection that from the 50s and 60s, 70s. You know, these things you can't replace them.
We contacted the spokesperson for the city's Public Works Department. He says a level sensor at the city's Pump Station 2 malfunctioned, resulting in 6 pumps shutting down. Wastewater backed up the system and spilled. The sensors have been replaced and operating normally, but the claims have not been resolved.
I just think they ought to be fair about it, that's all. You know, we're not trying to make money off of this thing.
The city says it doesn't comment on pending claims, but says of the 45 that were filed, 4 have been tentatively settled and none have been denied. In an email, a spokesperson wrote, in part, since personal property was damaged, city staff has needed to seek additional information from the claimants in order to determine the value of the property to determine a settlement amount. And anything over $7,000 needs internal approval.
But I mean, you can't put a dollar value on you know, where your heart is.
Working for you in the Embarcadero, I'm Abby Black, CBS 8.
A welcome sign in La Mesa isn't so welcoming. That's according to many people we talked to in La Mesa. They say they don't like the message it's sending and they are begging for the city to do something about it. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen working for you. She talked to people living in La Mesa and contacted city officials to see what can be done.
Take a look at this, a sign on top of a sign and rocks crumbling in front. I talked to numerous people living in La Mesa and they say they want the city to fix this immediately.
Well, it's a terrible eyesore.
Right now it's a little bit of an eyesore and doesn't make La Mesa look real good.
It's like crumbling literally on the ground, so it's just, I don't know how worse it could get really.
Several people in La Mesa told me this sign near Lakeshore Drive has been in disrepair for more than 2 years, and they reached out to CBS 8 for help. For well over a year, the old sign has been covered with this notice indicating that a new sign will be installed.
Yeah, I think putting a sign on top of a sign is kind of a junior varsity move. I think La Mesa's got more game than that, and they should really step up and just get the sign fixed.
It makes the neighborhood look trashy, broken rocks. If a neighborhood looks trashy, then people trash it. So I'd sure like to see it fixed.
That would be interesting to ask the law enforcement if crime has gone up in the area because of this state of disrepair of the welcoming sign. Looks not very welcoming.
Hi, this is Ariana Cohen with CBS 8. I called and emailed the city of La Mesa's manager's office last week. They told me, quote, the city's Public Works Department is actively working on this project and we will have a status update for you on Monday. By Tuesday, I had not yet heard back. In the meantime, these people have a message for city officials.
I mean, it kind of gives the impression of we don't really take care of our city, and, you know, the city doesn't care about the image of the city. We're all like kind of pay taxes in this area for these sorts of services to be taken care of.
Please fix the Welcome to La Mesa sign so it looks good both entering La Mesa and exiting La Mesa.
Please repair the sign, and everyone will be happy if you do. Right now, it's the uncertainty is just unsettling for the citizens here in this local area of La Mesa.
Working for you, Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
A San Diego landmark could soon be calling it quits. Word is traveling fast about the Santee Drive-In closing in order to make room for a business development. CBS 8's Abby Black is working for you to find out if this is true.
The Santee Drive-In has been an icon in San Diego County since 1958, but now there's word that it's closing. The owners deny it. We're working for you to find out if the family tradition will continue or if developers have plans for its last take.
Driving on State Route 67, you pass the landmark Santee Drive-In Theater and Swap Meet.
Even when we came out to Target, I checked it just to see what was playing, you know.
Hope Ferris takes a walk down memory lane.
When I was real young, we used to put our blankets and stuff on top of the car and watch.
Her grandchildren still enjoy the family-owned big screen from the back of their family truck. But the end may be written for the Santee Drive-In.
I'd be kind of disappointed because it's really cool.
The plot thickened once we found under the City of Santee's active projects website there's a pending entitlement for a 291,000 square foot industrial building at the drive-in address on North Woodside. Word has traveled that the drive-in and swap meet sold, but on the swap meet website, the owner says, as the owners at the same address doing the same thing our family has done since 1958, it has not been sold. Business as usual. End of story. We called, emailed, and posted on their social media, and still no response. So we went to the City of Santee. Principal planner Michael Coyne confirms Los Angeles developers North Palisade Partners is in escrow to purchase the drive-in theater. Coyne says owners must authorize, and they have, the submitted application to develop the property. The owners make no mention of that on their website. Coyne provided this rendering and says the developer branded the business complex as the Santee Commerce Center, made up of manufacturing, research, development, and office use on the near 13.5 acres.
And that's like one of the last things left that these kids can enjoy.
We've called
Joe, this is Abby Black.
And emailed all team members listed on the North Palisade Partners website for a comment, and also reached out to their PR team and have not heard back. The city says an environmental analysis and an historic assessment is underway and still needs city council approval. If it closes, the South Bay Drive-In is the only one of its kind left in the county. Locals hope that they can rewrite the end and save the Santee Theater before it's sold and redeveloped.
Those fond memories that these kids will miss out on, so they need to keep it.
Working for you in Santee, I'm Abby Black, CBS 8.
So much history there. A solution may finally be coming for people living in the Altadena neighborhood. People living there tell us that speeding drivers have caused a lot of safety concerns and even some close calls when it comes to crashes. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen has spoke with some of these neighbors from the very beginning about the danger they say is there every day.
I was here in June last year talking to neighbors at 33rd and Redwood in the Altadena neighborhood. They told me they wanted some type of solution for drivers speeding down these streets. Well, it's been a long time coming, and now they are one step closer to finally seeing results. Today, we have some good news to report. All-way stops could be coming to what neighbors call dangerous areas in the Altadena neighborhood.
Because of CBS News putting a spotlight on this issue for us, we're finally seeing real action.
The North Park Planning Committee approved a recommendation for the stops in a unanimous vote. Once approved by the Transportation Department, the city plans to install multiple speed bumps along 33rd Street and four-way stops at 3 problematic intersections: Bancroft and Redwood, Bancroft and Thorne, and 33rd and Thorne. Neighbors I spoke to say they're needed.
You know, some people might say, well, if you put in a four-way stop, aren't you afraid that will slow things down? That's the point. We need people to slow down because there are lives at stake.
You know, for 25 years, residents have been petitioning the city to do something, and for 25 years, they've been frustrated by lack of action, no action.
Council member Stephen Whitburn is helping push the effort along.
And you know, Terrence says it's 25 years in the making. Why did it take so long? Well, I can't speak to the past 25 years of why it took so long, but what I can tell you is that our office has worked very closely with these neighborhood residents, and I'm proud that we've been able to work with the Altadena neighborhood and get real results.
All of these neighbors tell me drivers have been speeding coming off the 805 freeway. Each person says they can share a different story on how many streets in the Altadena neighborhood are prone to danger.
There's constant crashes, there's constant side swipings of parked cars. People have had their neighbors run over and killed.
My car's been hit at least 5 times. My cat was trying to cross the street one evening and got hit and run over. Massive crash. The car literally careened through our neighbor's fence, landing in my front yard.
Councilmember Whitburn tells me the speed bumps and always stop should be completed within the next month or so. Neighbors hope it puts an end to the incidents.
Thank you to News 8 for being part of the solution, for publicizing this and helping get the action that we've been trying.
We are so thrilled to have CBS 8 put a spotlight on this issue. It's helped really put pressure on the city to act. The city is acting, and we're just so thankful.
We'll continue to keep you updated once crews start installing the stops. Working for you, Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
And we're glad to help. Remember, we are working for you. If there's something that you would like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.